Hello and welcome in our special show from the Kashmir as we are here in Kashmir Valley for last few days and definitely showing you that what has changed in Jammu and Kashmir in last 1 decade as political party and the union government claims that we have changed the Kashmir. This is the new Kashmir. What has happened in last 10 years in Jammu and Kashmir that shows that something which was missing that has been done by the union government. Right behind me, this is the famous Dal Lake from where we are doing this show with the youngster of the Kashmir, and it's it's late night here in the Kashmir, and just see the beauty of Kashmir. This is the night beauty. What we basically think in our minds that if someone could reach over here in Kashmir and they can enjoy this beauty, but we got this chance and we got this opportunity to speak to the people over here, those who are the witness, those who witness the things over here in the Jammu and Kashmir. But we'll start with the famous music, traditional music of Kashmir. And we have with us Bilal, who is a very famous singer and definitely he plays rubab, which is a traditional instrument of Kashmir. And we'll try to, get something fresh, get something special for you. Let's listen. बिलाल आपसे जानना चाहूँगा ये जो जादू है उंगलियों में ये कैसे आया और जब दुनिया में युवा जो हैं वो गैजेट्स की तरफ जाते हैं आपने कैसे सोचा कि कश्मीर की इस पहचान को जिंदा रखा जाए कैसे शौक आया
जी, मैंने आपको पहले ही बोला कि मेरा वो जो कज़न है वो संतूर प्ले करते हैं, तो मैंने उनको देखा पहले। लगभग मुझे आज 4-5 साल हो गए प्ले करते हो, तो मैंने उन्हीं से देख के मतलब स्टार्ट किया।
ये यहाँ का ट्रेडिशन है ये यहाँ की पहचान है ये फोक म्यूजिक
जी जी।
तो कैसा लगता है जब ये बजाते हैं सुकून मिलता है और लोग भी काफी मुझे लगता है कि सुकून देते भी हैं आप
जी, सुकून तो मिलता है इसे प्ले करने के, और दूसरों को भी मिलता है। मतलब जो भी यहाँ पे टूरिस्ट आते हैं वो बहुत इंजॉय करते हैं इसका म्यूज़िक। मतलब
let's now discuss the politics and definitely the things what is happening here in the Jammu and Kashmir. That is very important because after 10 years elections assembly election is going to take place and people those who were waiting eagerly for this election they are definitely expecting that now somebody will come to them, they will get some representative for their issues. But other than that, important is that what people are thinking of. Let's speak to the people over here, and we have with us young brigade of the Kashmir. Let's speak to them that what they have to say. Sibat, I'll start from you first. This is Dal Lake, and we know that even in the past, tourists they used to come here to enjoy the beauty of Kashmir. Government claims that things have changed in Kashmir. They claims that this is new Kashmir, which was missing for last many decades. Do you believe they're saying something which is concrete happened in Kashmir Valley?
See, there are both pros and cons of this statement. I can say that yes, development has been done in certain areas, and in terms of tourism, we saw there was a boom this year as well. So obviously, there has been that thing. What you are, I validate that point, but at the same time, there are few aspects like unemployment rate has increased than to the national average. So these things, or there is industrial growth needs to be. Yet we need to, the infrastructure development needs to be there.
Do you think that this change can create, something in the mind of the youngster, in the mind of the people, those who were indulged in something bad things in the past?
See, obviously, when you have a ground to do something positive, people will do. And when you have something to do negative, and youth is always immune, not immune, they are very much prone to these things. So to make them immune, you need one thing, you need to a positive environment. And as of now, there is a positive environment, and you are seeing the reflections of that.
After 10 years, this election is taking place. So what is in the mind of the youngster? What is the mind of people of Kashmir this time?
See, to be frank enough, to be blunt, I will say developmental aspects, employment, the focus on industries. Unemployment is a main issue as of now. Youth has that, they are sitting idle at home, though they are not, see, they have aspirations to do something big. So industrial development needs, post Article 370, we saw that we are aspiring that industries will be erected over here. So we're waiting for that, how much time it will take to, for big guns to come in and invest in Kashmir, and then we see the boom of industrial
We'll
development.
come back to you. We'll speak to some other people as well. क्या लग रहा है जो कश्मीर के लोग हैं 10 सालों के बाद जब चुनाव करेंगे, दिमाग में क्या होगा? 370 होगी कि वापस आनी चाहिए? क्योंकि सियासतदान इसे लेकर सियासत कर रहे हैं। दिमाग में ये होगा कि नहीं, 10 साल में हमारे इलाके में कोई एमएलए नहीं था, इसलिए हमारे इलाके की डेवलपमेंट नहीं हो सकी, हमारी नौकरियों का मसला था, हमारे और मसले थे, वो मसले हों।
जी सर, पहले तो खुशाइन बात है कि 10 साल के बाद कश्मीर में, जम्मू कश्मीर के अंदर इलेक्शंस हो रहे हैं। और दूसरी चीज़ ये कि जो ही वोट निकले जाएगा तो उसके ओबियसली उसके दिमाग में ये होगा कि डेवलपमेंट के इश्यूज़ होंगे, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट के इश्यूज़ होंगे। और सबसे बड़ी बात ये कि जो पिछले 5 सालों में जो डेवलपमेंट यहाँ पे हुई, उन चीज़ों को मद्देनज़र रखे जो आज का वोट होगा वो चाहेगा कि मैं ऐसे नुमाइंदे को चुनूँ जो इससे और जिसका विजन इससे और अच्छा हो, कि वो और ज़रा डेवलपमेंट कर पाए अपने क्षेत्र के अंदर, अपनी कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी के अंदर।
We'll come back to them also that what he's thinking of the political change. Is there any? What do you think? Like we have seen that political parties, they are claiming that 370, has gone now, but they are saying that they will bring it back. Even if they can take 100 years, but they will fight for the same. And one party is saying that now it is gone, so we will think about that what we can do for the people of the Jammu and Kashmir. Whom people of Kashmir are going to believe?
Basically, if you have to understand this issue, political parties will basically engage themselves in the political rhetoric. See, there is no numero uno in the Indian politics. Even in the J&K politics, you will have questions against the dynasty, you will have questions against the new people who are into politics. But then again, the bottom line is that people have been missing the real development. I mean, last 5 years, basically the government has tried to move the needle from zero. And has it been able to carve out a new niche for development and a political narrative? I guess to some extent, yes. But then again, I am entitled to have my reservations against the government policies on the development itself, because it also, all over India, you will say, the development needs to be also targeted along with the climate awareness and the climate activism. In J&K, which is a climate sensitive and climate fragile place, we need to basically bring up an amalgam of policy or politics or even development that will basically hit it on the head.
Who is going to survive this time if somebody is contesting election? Because more than 40% are independent, those who are contesting. Who is going to survive? Those who will just, make false promises, or those who will do something for the people of Kashmir?
I mean, which part of India are you talking about where politics is not, at the end of the day, the marriage of the broken promises? It always is. But then, as per the manifesto, most of the parties, even Jammu and Kashmir National Conference, the PDP, the PC, or many other parties have addressed this issue, and they have framed their political manifesto that highlights the developmental issue, that highlights the unemployment issue, that also highlights about that they'll be able to bring back 370. But I guess 370 is something that must be left to the parliament itself. Parliament gave it, parliament has taken it back. That's not making some resonance and aligning in the current political scenario of Jammu and Kashmir. But yes, if we see it on the face value, independents will be the kingmakers, to my mind.
Do you think that, if somebody is saying that we will fight for till last breath to bring back, 370 in the Jammu and Kashmir, that is going to work? Or people of Jammu and Kashmir, they are looking for something concrete?
Look, Kashmir is having a political aspect when we speak about the Kashmir. It's having some other aspects too when we talk about the economics and the society and all that. It's having the political aspect. 370 is part of its political aspect. So it is definitely going to, resonated in the public. And I do feel that people have some, emotional connect with it. I don't know why it is seen as something untouchable. Indian Parliament has given it, and it has something which comes from the Indian Constitution. So I don't think there has been something like this, that it has been something that like a taboo. To me, I think there are certain other issues too. The youth is having so many issues on the ground, like the employment, empowerment, especially the political empowerment. So when we talk about that, we need to understand that we need to address those aspirations too, apart from these political aspects, addressing these political aspects.
Let's once again go to Bilal, because Bilal is uh, filling the gap between the we can say that the politicians, between the generations, between the people and the masses and the politicians. Bilal, what आप क्या सुनाएंगे इस पर? कोई खास जो कश्मीर से जुड़ा हो? He's not a musician, he's a magician. That is what I call him. But let's speak to the people over here once again. What do you think of the things which is happening in Kashmir for last 10 years? Do you think that is enough to prove those who are sitting in the center and they are saying that we will change Kashmir, we will now come here and we will show people of Jammu and Kashmir that what we can do if we will come in power in Jammu and Kashmir?
Say if they say we will change Jammu and Kashmir, we must say that what they have done in last 10 years, have they changed Jammu and Kashmir? I'll not deny that the development part to some extent, because we have seen a few developmental projects being executed here. Let me not go to the part who was there, who laid the foundation stone, and who inaugurated the project. But I must say about the project was completed, or it is incomplete, or it's yet to be started.
What they are saying is that, in last 10 years, what they were able to done is that they were basically able to bring peace in Kashmir. There is no stone pelting, there is no band call. Do you think this is something which basically people were looking for?
Yes, obviously nobody is, like everybody is a peace lover, and I must give credit to government of India for for a controlled law and order situation in Kashmir. But one more thing, which is a major concern I must discuss here, is the issue of drug addiction. It has seen an increase to a very huge level, which has given nightmares to the state government and the central government itself. You might have gone through many surveys,
So
which are
if somebody is listening to you, so what are the things which required here, which people of Jammu and Kashmir, and especially people of Kashmir, they want to do something?
So we need empowerment, political empowerment is must here, and we need avenues, job opportunities here. So that's will I feel get employment opportunities here that will do away with this drug addiction issue.
Do you think that new political faces in Jammu and Kashmir, because the situation in Jammu and Kashmir after traditional parties, those who basically ruled in Jammu and Kashmir, they are even feeling threat of several political parties and independent, those who are basically emerging as a we can say that kingmaker as well. So do you think that they can come and definitely do something to change Kashmir, do something for the people of Kashmir, what they were expecting?
See, a political situation has always remained interesting at like it is being monitored at international level. But I'll just respectfully disagree with your term like threat. There must be a challenge from the opponent parties, be it independent or other regional parties here, because there have been two main stakeholders here, that is People's Democratic Party and Jammu Kashmir National Conference here, and they have played a major role in keeping this politics alive here. But there are now, with some passage of some years, new faces have been introduced in this politics. So they are in the field, and it's I must say that it's really premature to say. But we can just give credit to them that they are in this political fray. They are contesting.
They are blaming that they are basically the sponsored people.
October 8 will decide. Actually, it's the people, it's voters, like whom they trust. I'm nobody to say whether you are proxy or I am proxy or any other third person is the proxy. It's the people. They will vote for them, their representatives, and it's people who will they decide whom they want to rule them.
But how do you see this? Like, if somebody wants to contest election, and other politicians, they start saying that they are the proxies. Do you think this is the right term to say something to the people, those who have aspiration to come and do politics and do something for the Kashmir?
We can say that maligning anybody for the mere political purpose is not a good thing. And one thing is there, for example, the more people come into the mainstream, it is better for the overall democracy. Right now, we're seeing that Hurriyat, Jamaat Islami, youth, and other independent people are coming into the mainstream, and it's a good thing for everyone. And we need a good competitors to make it more flourish. And one thing I can say, it should permeate all sects of the society.
But we have seen that when Altaf Bukhari, basically he floated his party, he was blamed that he's a B party. Ghulam Nabi Azad basically left Congress and he floated his party, he becomes the B party. Now Jamaat and even Engineer Rashid, who won from the North Kashmir, he's blamed that they are the proxies. So how do you see this? How people of Kashmir see this?
See, whatever are the intended intentions behind that, they may be knowing. That's layered within their core. I don't know what is that. But blaming everyone as B team is not a good thing, because everyone has a right to contest. Everyone has a right. It's not a kind of that anyone who comes in and you malign them being B party, and then there's a saying, give a dog a bad name and kill him. So we can't do that thing. You need good competitors. You need to fight and you need to go on. See, as of now, the manifesto is rolling around Article 370. That is the subject matter of Parliament, not state governments. And I bet that any national party won't even engage into the discussion of that. Believe me, as of now, even India Alliance. So how come it's possible that we keep our manifesto confined to the Article 370? That's what, prior to this, it was up to 2019. It was demanding the restoration of 1953 situation, and right now we're demanding the restoration of 2019 pre-2019 position. So we need a reformative kind of political leadership over here who have reinvent the politics as of now.
Do you think this is going to help the traditional party to get votes, what they are saying?
See, it may be a very good thing for them to mobilize people while rallying, but at the end of the day, we need to see the governance part. Is it fetching us anything better or not?
क्या लगता है ये जो 370 को मुद्दा बनाकर खेला जा रहा है, चुनाव लड़ा जा रहा है, ये वाकई में मुद्दा है या नहीं? लोग चाहते हैं कि कुछ अलग होना चाहिए।
सर, ये तो नेशनल जो हमारी पार्टीज़ है यहाँ पर जो कंटेस्ट कर रही है इलेक्शंस, उनके लिए मुद्दा है। अगर हम बात करें आफ्टर 2019, तो जो यहाँ का यूथ था, उससे पहले वो समझता था कि उसका फ्यूचर नहीं दिखता था विद इंडिया, बट आज हर कोई यूथ ये चाह रहा है कि हमारा फ्यूचर इंडिया के साथ है। वो जुड़ना चाहते हैं इंडिया के साथ, क्योंकि उनको वो एवेन्यूज़ दिख रहे हैं जो यहाँ पे पिछले 4-5 सालों से जो यहाँ पे डेवलपमेंट हुआ, जो जितने भी प्रोग्राम्स हुए, तो अब वो उनका अब क्लियर कट यही है कि नहीं, हमारा फ्यूचर जो है वी शुड बी विद द पार्ट ऑफ द इंडिया।
डर का माहौल था पहले, इस वजह से हालात वैसे थे, डर आतंकवाद का था, यहाँ डर जो था वो जो अलगाववादी ताकतें थी, पत्थरबाज थे, या सेपरेटिज्म की जो एक वो थी टोन थी, उसका डर था लोगों में, इस वजह से लोग बाहर नहीं आते थे, वोट नहीं डालते थे।
नहीं, वोटिंग तो पहले भी होती थी।
नहीं, मगर पहले मतलब लोग 5,000 वोट लेके भी मेंबर पार्लियामेंट बने।
वोटिंग तो पहले भी होती थी लेकिन कम होती थी। ऐसा भी कह सकते थे कि किसी कई जगहों पर जहाँ पे अलगाववाद का असर रहता था वहाँ पे लोगों को डर रहता था, लेकिन अगर हम रूरल एरियाज़ की बात करेंगे वहाँ पे तो वोटिंग तो अच्छी होती थी। अगर हम नॉर्थ कश्मीर की बात करें, इससे पहले भी वहाँ पे वोटिंग, अगर आप उड़ी में देखोगे जो पिछला इलेक्शन था वहाँ पे 80% वोटिंग हुई, जो 2008 में या 2012 में जो वोटिंग हुई। तो इसका ये मतलब नहीं कि हम उसी चीज़ के साथ इसको जोड़े, बट कि कई जगहों पर अलगाववाद का असर रहा।
So do you think that politician has to use new tactics if they have to get vote? This is not going to work.
No, no, it's when we talk about you were asking this person Javed sir about 370. Is it resonating on the ground or not? I'll just take the courtesy to basically reply to that question first. The thing is that 370 is a gone case. Most of the people in the upper echelons of the society, they understand it. Most of the people use smartphones, social media. They know that it's within the domains of the parliament and no political party. But then again, in the narrative setting, the local regional parties may benefit from that because they still consider that in certain segments this thing will align with their political ambitions. A and B. When we talk about what was the question about? Come again.
New tactics they required to get votes are 370 and injustice with the people of Kashmir is going to work here.
Every political party, every politician is by DNA and by default made to elbow out others no matter what. In discourse, in narrative making, and even in the politics. Politics has its own certain and unique language. 370, I mean, earlier Sibitsa was talking about pre-1953 stats. Everything changed. No more it's like that. It's not anymore old Kashmir. Issues may be new, issues may be old, but things have changed on the ground. You have to give it to the central government.
So what is your last take? How do you think that for what people of Kashmir are going to vote this time after 10 years?
Well, I think we should vote for the empowerment of the youth. We should vote for the development of the state. We should vote for the, we have been downgraded to a UT. I think we deserve to be a state. We have been the, the oldest state in the country. I think there are so many issues about the youth, about the development, which we really need to address. So, apart from the political aspects of the state, about the other aspects, we need to address those two, and we need to take youth forward. We need to take youth along with all this so that we can, create avenues for them to have a very prosperous life ahead.
Thank you so much for speaking with us, and definitely we have very less time now. So one final music from Bilal, who's very dear to me, and definitely he's creating, sensation in my body, in my mind because of this rubab. दिल दिया है जान भी देंगे ए वतन तेरे लिए. These are the final words from the bank of Dal Lake here from the Kashmir, and where this politics, where this Kashmir is going to vote in the next few days. We have shown you, and definitely we will continue our coverage from the Kashmir, and this is the special telecast for the NewsX from Kashmir's Dal Lake. With Bunty Digra, Ajay Jandial, NewsX.
Why go elsewhere when you